Oh, hi, Namaste, peace, Hotep. Today, I'm just going to review this book. It's called The Physiological Enigma of the Woman, The Mystery of Menstruation, date 1960, and it's by Raymond W. Bernard. And this review is particularly for my sisters and my sisters out there, the queens and goddesses. But obviously, they've got their counterpart, which is the gods, the kings, their consorts. So, everyone is welcome, but this is a particular review for the ladies. So here's the book. And I'm just gonna just go through it quickly. But what really hit me about this book is that we've had so much fallacies about blood and particularly menstrual blood, and I love this book because it helped me to realize what I can do about my health and the sisters in general. So I'll just read. It says The Mystery of Menstruation, Its Causes and Cure, and it's by Columbia University. And let's see. Yeah. So I'll just read you one little paragraph, and it says, the periodical hemorrhage of the human female, a perpetual cause of distress and suffering to her from its first appearance at puberty until its final appearance at the menopause, and a biological anomaly, has always been the physiological enigma both to her and to the opposite sex. From the earliest times until today, man has sought to explain this mysterious phenomenon, first in the form of religious beliefs and superstitions, and more recently in terms of hormones. But never was the mystery fully solved. The fact that there are on medical record innumerable women who lived long, healthy lives, bore large families without ever menstruating once in their life, should indicate that this loss of perfectly good blood, the same as flows through the general circulation, is really not necessary to either health or fertility as commonly supposed, and the many causes on record of a woman being freed herself of this hemorrhage by adopting a natural diet and mode of living would indicate that menstruation is more or less unnatural and a penalty for violation of natural laws. The fact that wild animals do not menstruate often commence to menstruate under unnatural conditions of domestication would confirm the conclusion that menstruation is a result of artificial living under the unhygienic conditions of civilization, and it is not natural. So I love this book. So I read it, and it's an easy read. So I'm recommending it, especially for my sisters. Get yourself a copy. The first chapter is called The Biological Superiority of the Female. Okay. The second chapter is called Theories Proposed to Explain Menstruation. And in that chapter, it talks about how to alkaline your body, to use low protein, fruit and a vegetable diet, and that will help things. The third chapter is called Menstruation as a Pathological Process. So it says a woman is not healthy because she menstruates, but in spite of it. So that's a brilliant chapter. I love that chapter. Chapter 4 is, can menstruation be reduced or eliminated by diet? So that's why I always push for, the healthy, green leafy, water-based, alkaline diet. Okay. Chapter 5, should women rest during menstruation? Okay, and I think, you know, when you're losing all that vital energy, you know, we're just expected to go on, prod along. Chapter 6 is called Leukorrhea, its cause and cure. And leukorrhea is actually a persistent mucus discharge, which has never been given the attention that it deserves by, by the medical and by women themselves. So that's leukorrhea, its cause and cure. Chapter 7 is an abridgement by Dr. Herbert Shelton, and it's menstruation and its cure. Chapter 8 is called Female Degeneration and Regeneration by Professor Hilton Hotima. And it says, in all ages of historical period, as far as the vast majority of humanity is concerned, and in every one of the Aryan nations until this day, the position to which society has confined and married woman is that of a servant and a slave to her husband. In Europe and the Western world, the clergy have carefully and willfully sanctioned this condition of servitude as being in harmony with the word of God, and the Christian Bible to that effect says, thy desire, O sinful woman, shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And that's Genesis 3:15. So, okay, so that's chapter 8. Chapter 9 says, and oh yes, in that chapter I've underlined something. It says, female babies show a lower mortality rate than male babies. Not only are male babies less vital at birth, but they continue so in the years of pre-adolescence that follow. Life insurance statistics show that it is more difficult to rear a boy, a young man, than a young woman from the standpoint of health. A study in the death rate from tuberculosis during the 20 years from 1900s to 1920 by a certain insurance company showed that more men than women died of this disorder. And it's got very good book. Chapter 9 is an abridgment of Dr. George S. White's book, and it's The Emancipation of the Woman, or Regulating the Duration of the Menses. And it says, a record of his researches during a half a century on the eliminating of menstrual discharge in healthy
in this
fertile women. Chapter 8, it says here, it talks about the use of yoga and the slanting board, and the elevation of your foot, the foot end of one's bed, and it would help to equalize the circulation and overcome the menstruation. So there's a lot of good suggestions in this book, and I've actually believe that, you know, all the sisters should get this book. Chapter 10 is The Physiological Regeneration of the Woman by Keith S. Q3. MD, and it's from his book Regeneration, Special Methods for the Woman, and it talks about the cause of monthly illness, the cause of menstruation, leukorrhea, natural protection, the reabsorption of mucus secretion, and it goes on. Chapter 11 says Woman's Emancipation and Regeneration by Joan Rachel Walker. So very good. Oh, and it's an easy read. It's not very difficult to read this. So, you know, and it's not even, it's a thin book. It's not thick. It's quite thin. Look at that. It's just thin. Okay. Chapter 12 is the functional periodically of the female organism. Okay, the functional periodicity of the female organism. Okay, I've got that right now. And then it says sexual periodicity in animals and humans. It goes on. Very good read. Okay. Chapter 13, the modern physiological theory of menstruation, ovulation and menstruation. The chemistry of the menstrual blood, very important. The pituitary gland and menstruation. And then towards the end of the book, it says Superstitions Concerning Menstruation by George R. Clement, and it says LLB, NB, and DC. And one of the quotes here is again from the Bible, saying, "Thy desire, O sinful woman, shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." And it just goes on, and it says, "Womankind has displeased the gods," and blah blah blah. It goes on. And it says the causes of menstruation. Menstruation is disease, dis-ease. So menstruation is disease. Blood is life fluid, and as such it should be conserved. There is no such subject. There is no such substance as bad blood or impure blood in connection with the uterus to be torn away once a month. The loss of blood from any part of the body impairs one's health, and it is an impediment of the natural functions and metabolism. Okay, and I love this book, and it says the disorders of menstruation. Let's have a look. Very good book. Menstruation and its fruitfulness. And yeah, Lukeria again, the clean woman. Let's have a look. And you know what led me to this book was some lectures I was looking at by the main one was Dr. Azazel Bey, also Dr. you know, when he talks about the woman is God 1 times 1. Delbert Blair, Dr. Delbert Blair, also Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, all the greats, Yafabe, all the greats. But I was so pleased when I read this book. So this book, The Physiological Enigma of the Woman, and I just want to say by Raymond W. Bernard, and I want to say thank you for joining me again today. I hope I haven't kept you too long, and I hope this information will be useful to you and your household. So thank you. Namaste, peace, universal love. Hotep.